Dangerfield.
All right there. On yesterday's stream, I started talking about pop music and ended up going on a long Adorno-like rant about the barbaric meaningless of pop music. How consumers of cultural objects seek to be relieved from boredom, yet make no effort. And because those two things are incompatible, they don't get relieved from boredom, they just get a slight distraction, which is effectively the buzz of spending money. Good fun. Nice chat. But today I thought I would tell you a story of when I was in a rock and roll band. One of many I've been in, but the one that hit the highest successes, the one that got a recording contract, a publishing deal, a management deal. The holy trinity of rock and roll stardom. Now, while I've hinted at this story and told bits of it here and there, it's quite a lengthy tome. And I've always thought it's probably too much for a video. Because for anyone to listen to this odyssey of idiocy, they'd need to be trapped, stuck in a room, under house arrest, or something like that. Yeah. Thanks, COVID-19. So, sit down, here we go. Started off, I was about 28, a little bit too old for a rock and roller, to be fair. You know, couple of facials, maybe a hair implant, might be able to pull it off. You literally start thinking like that. 28 I was. And I started writing songs, strumming them out on my old guitar. Just a couple of chords. But my best mate at the time was a doctor of music. He had a PhD in composition. Could play all instruments, keyboard, drums, guitar, bass, banjolele, ukulele, you name it. He could pretend he could blag it. And he had a little recording studio in his house in Devon. So every few weeks I'd go down there, sit with him, chat with him, and then just sort of casually, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind arranging a couple of my... And he'd be like, so boring for me. I'd be like, yay! And then over a matter of hours, I'd give him my little free chord melody. He'd arrange it, he'd put harmonies in, he'd put all sorts of things in, we'd work together on it. And it sounded wonderful. I loved it, you know. To turn up to someone's house with a couple of chords and a few words, and to leave with a disc of pretty well produced and polished pop music. Amazing. So another 6 weeks passed, I went down there. So I was wondering, okay, brilliant. On about the third time, we hit a bit of a sweet spot. And he changed, because up until then, this was just graft for him. This was just him helping out a mate. But suddenly he started saying, actually, these are fucking good. I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, we're going to be in a rock and roll band. And so I started taking it a bit more seriously. You know, writing longer songs, more considered, more effort into the words. And he spent a bit longer producing them. We worked hard on them. We worked through the nights on them. And they started to get quite amazing. So I started sending them all off, making contacts, keeping people engaged. And people were liking them. People were really liking them. And then one week I was down there and we watched, I can't remember what the show was, one of those Saturday morning CD UK perhaps. And it was as if pop music had hit there was a new aesthetic in the air. And on that one edition of CD UK, it might have been all on that show, it might have been spread across 2 shows that same morning. You had The Strokes, Last Night She Said, or Turn Me On. Great tune. Great tune. That, it had The Hives. Yeah, what was The Hives song? I can't remember their one, but the Swedish band with all in suits, and the drummer's called Chris Danger. Can't remember the name of the song, but a great 3-minute pop song. And him going, you had the White Stripes on there. And what was their first hit? What was that one? I said it once before, but it bears repeating now. Ah, na, na, na. That one. Fell in love with a girl. Fell in love with a girl. So you had that. There was one more, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. And we were aware that a change has occurred. An epistemological break in pop music aesthetics that we could seize upon and suck from. So then we wrote some more songs. But we wrote them with a little bit of all that in mind. And things changed. These were great. These were commercial products, essentially. Great cracking little 3-minute pop songs. I might drop some in to this video. When I edit it, I'll drop in some of the tunes we wrote together.
Send me for elastic, I'm fantastic. I got geometry, it's pretty drastic. Coochie coochie tiger, where can I hide ya? Your roar's too loud, mate, they're gonna find ya. And aesthetic again. Yeah, you're looking pretty rough, son, your life's coming undone. Everywhere you go, you seem to know someone. I wanna change my life, mum, I don't know what's going on. I pick up all the pieces full and then I drop them. And again.
And that was it. We thought we got something here. So let's get busy. So I managed to get hold of Alex James. The bass player from a lesser known English band called Blur. I knew him anyway from Soho, causing problems in members clubs like the Colony Rooms and Jerry's. Smoking crack and snorting smack. Lovely. And I sent him a little demo and I said, look, we're going to try and get a deal. It would certainly help if I could say you'd be involved. He got back to me, said, yeah, I'll produce it for you. I'll produce your EP. Quite cool. Quite cool. And of course, young and naive, I thought, well, that's done. You know, that's signed, sealed, delivered. And I'd also been hassling a little company called Waste UK, aka, I'm sorry, man, my back is something like a mosquito. Also known as Sandbag, and they dealt with the merchandising for Radiohead. The girl that ran it was called Mel, and she was old school friends with Tom York. So for some reason, I sort of just kept hassling her with copies of the CD and all that sort of thing. And one day she got back to me, and she was like, "All right, this is excellent. Let's talk." I was like, "Oh my gosh." Then I gave a copy to my friend Matt Cogger, who sadly died a couple of years ago, cancer. Oh my God, poor bloke. But he was big in the Chicago house music scene. He was Neuropolitique, some of you might know him. And he was friends with Madness. I think he was a road manager or tour manager for Madness. And he managed to get a copy to Chaz Smash, one of the sax players, I think, in Madness. And he contacted me and he was like, I like this band, Household, we were called. Household, oh yeah, mid-90s. And he was like, hello son, I like this Household thing you got going on here. I want to see you live. We'd never played live. We weren't a live band. Oh, so we got hold of our friend Jock. You might know Jock. He's an illustrator. He draws Batman. He draws Judge Dredd. Look him up online, Jock. He drew some of my Edinburgh flyers as well. He's a world successful illustrator. And he's a drummer. And he went, all right. And we got hold of our old friend James, a bass player from college. He was like, all right. So we rehearsed our asses off. One day we put in about 8 hours. Let's just get 6 songs sorted. Cut the puss. Intro, verse, chorus, middle 8, verse, chorus, verse, outro. Simple little 3-minute pop songs. No meandering, fiddly diddly nonsense. This is pop music.
I get up and I rush, cause I got to get to the bookies on time. I've got it all on the 325. It's alright, she's alive. I get in and have a burn, cause I got to get to Nirvana on time. I've got a life but it's in disguise. It's alright, she's alive. And good things come to those who steal. Oh, my father who art in hell. Can you see the signs that I'm crying all the time? Like the puddles in me hands on me arms that are empty all the time.
And got it all together. Then we set up a gig in Exeter. And the people from Madness, Chaz Smash and his people, he had a recording label, you see, Rolled Gold. When you want to get your band to make it, you need three. You need a recording contract, a publishing contract, and a management contract. Someone to manage you, someone to record you, and someone to publish you. And we'd got the recording contract was Chaz Smash. He said, I want to see you live. So like I say, we'd done all these rehearsals. We set up a gig in Exeter, got loads of people to come. And he turned up with his little crew from Rolled Gold Records. They stood at the back. We knocked out a set. And afterwards they went, yeah, of course we'll sign you. This is going to happen. You know, it was quite something. Me and Paul, my mate, we were going crazy. And then we were just sitting there going, yeah, we're going to do this. And then we went and met Mel from Waste, Radiohead's lot. And they said, look, we're going to set up a management company purely to manage you. We know you've got a record deal. We want to manage you. And then they sorted out a publishing deal. It had all come together. Now, at the time, I had a bit of a problem with crack and heroin, which can be a problem. You know, it has been known to somewhat affect your ability to concentrate, focus on, or give a shit about anything else. And so that was causing trouble. And we had a gig booked. What's the name of the venue? It's in Camden. Dublin Castle. Very famous Camden rock venue. We were the headline band. I think there was one band supporting us, and all the money people were there. All of the people from Chaz Smash's Rolled Gold. All the people from Waste, the publishing people. They had all turned up to see us. We'd only ever done one gig before, and we got signed on it. So this was the one, more like a party, really. All our people were there, ready to see us. It was more of a party, and then we sign all the contracts, and we are go. But I was living down in Devon by this point, and so me and my girlfriend got the train up. But we spent the whole journey in the toilet smoking crack. And we set off about 2 hours late, and we missed the train, and when I actually ended up at the venue about an hour and a half late, there was certainly a sense that I was an arsehole and everyone was really not impressed with me. And of course, all the people that were putting money in were just sort of like, what, he can't even get to his first gig on time? He doesn't seem too interested. Add to that when I turned up, I just looked like a skeleton, just sort of shaking and hadn't slept for literally a week. Just a zombie. Anyway, the gig sort of went forward, but I was next to useless. I just wasn't focused. Does that come as a surprise? I didn't even know what I was doing there. It just felt like some artifice. Felt like a performance. Felt like I was pretending to be something that I wasn't believing in anymore. But that's all true. And while that is all true, it's not the dominant issue here. The dominant issue was crack and heroin were my focus. That was more important to me than all of that. I didn't care. It was just, do I have to do this? And we kind of lost everything that night. Signed on our first gig, unsigned on our second gig. But the story's not over because, okay, so that's happened. Sort yourself out, Chris, where we can, we've obviously got the quality, we've got the object. Next one, okay, so we've taken a little knock, but it has kind of been amazing. We've got Waste UK involved. We got the publishing people. We got Madness involved. What's his fucking name? Alex James from Blur involved. They're all still there. Well, not all of them. We lost a few of them. But we can do something here. But then I got busted at my house. Armed police turned up, gun in my face. Put your hands in the prayer position. Hello. And we got chucked out of that property, obviously. And when I saw the landlord, he said, well, what happened at your house last night? I said, well, we got busted. I went, only a little bit of hash, though. You know, I don't know why they bothered. And he was like, oh, all right then. 2 days later, he turned up. He went, it wasn't hash. It was heroin and crack cocaine. You have to leave. You've got 1 week. We had no money. We had nowhere to go. And then I had a dealer that I owed about, at that time, about £90,000 to. Oh, it was his crack I'd been enjoying for 7 weeks solid. He was coming after me. And we went on the run. Me and my girlfriend just left the house. Stuffed whatever money I had. I think we had about $2,000. That was just cash from selling the odd bit of smack or whatever. Stuffed it in our pockets, done the off, left all our stuff just in the hallway. What were we going to do with it? Everyone who lived in the house slowly picked away at it, took all our good stuff. The big pile of our lives just slowly depleted every time we turned up round there to like get a clean t-shirt or something once a week. And we had less and less stuff, and in the end the landlord threw it all out. Ouch. So we went missing, and Paul the guitarist couldn't get hold of me. I didn't have a phone. I wasn't thinking about being in a pop band. It just disappeared. And me and him didn't talk for about 4 years. He thought it was still on. People still wanted us to work. Rolled Gold forgave us. Waste was still up for it. Alex was still up for it. But I was running around painting, trying to find £10 for a bag of smack. It was awful. And when I finally surfaced a few months later, mine and his friendship were in ruins. No one else answered any of my calls. I remember one night out of my nut, I thought, no, we can do the rock and roll band. Hello, Chaz. And he went, yeah, no, let's not do this. And I was like, okay, sorry for the problem hassling you. In retrospect, I didn't want to do it. I liked the idea. Who doesn't when you're like 28? You know, I'd been in bands since I was about 18. With no real skill, no real music ability. When you're in a band and everyone's playing at their limit of their ability and it's still crap, it's painful. Especially when you're the singer. Ooh, it's just a noise and your unproduced live vocals. But to work with Paul and actually to have nailed it, it was exciting. But the truth of it, you know, I was about 29 at that point, and by the time we'd have established ourselves, by the time if it had have worked and we'd have been performing at half decent venues, I would have been 32, 33. Not a good look, I don't think. You know, I'd already grown out of pop music. You know, I knew it was a job. I knew it was an industry. I knew it was pretending. Aesthetics. Cool covers. Songs about love and pain and drugs, yeah. Sex, drugs and rock and roll, embarrassing. It's a young person's game. And although, as I said, my focus was on my addiction, because addiction will do that to someone, I didn't really want to do it. And rather than just say, I don't want to do this and upset everyone, I just fucked it up and upset everyone far, far more than I needed to. Me and Paul ended up mates again, best mates as well. And then we fell out again, then we were mates again. And we're currently going through a phase of being fallen out. But I think we're both old enough and wise enough to know shit happens. Yeah. Rock on! Rock on!
summertime. We